bought the land and commissioned the building of the lighthouse. And so I think they started in April of 1796, and that building was completed by November. The sandstone that they built the lighthouse out of came from Connecticut by boat. And they put it on the beach over here, and then they horse-drawn carriages brought it up to the top and built the lighthouse in 8 months, 9 months. So the government, the now government, got sick and tired of funding it because there was the question of erosion control that they didn't want to pay for. And the 200-year-old lighthouse, the Coast Guard who owned it, they're not interested in historical preservation. They're search and rescue. So they divided their interest and said, okay, we're out of here. You guys can have it. So they gave it to the Historical Society for $1.
So where the museum gets its funding from?
From the patrons that come. It's a museum, and we charge $9 for adults and $7 for seniors and $6 for kids. So we basically make $500,000 a year.
Oh, yeah?
But it costs $500,000 a year to run the place.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of washes out. Where do we get funding? We get contributions. Paul Simon, the singer-songwriter who lives right over here, he did a series of concerts in the early 90s. And we got, for my work, we got like $600,000 out of the concerts. And then the federal government kicked in some money and the state kicked in some money. It's amazing because I'm not an engineer and I don't work for the state, and I pretty much manage that project. They just stepped back and they said, this dude, let him go, let him pick up the football and run with it. And I managed the project, and we got, for about $2 million, we built a $20 million protection.
Okay.
So, and it's been tested. And so it's kind of cool because now all the engineers that know I'm not an engineer, when we come to talk, we sit down and they have high regard and respect for my act.
Yeah.
Because, you know, all the things that they draw and dream about, I do physically. I set 14,000 ton of those stones with my own eyes.
So you're on the board or anything like that? Or
I'm on the board of directors of the lighthouse, yeah. And we run the place. It's a, you know, we battle each other and we have arguments, but we get the job done. And it's a lot of local people that are involved. But it's a happy story, you know, because you can get really upset about government because government they're so wasteful. And in order for government to do anything, it takes years of planning. And so when we got involved after the Paul Simon concerts, there was a series of storms. There was Hurricane Bob in 1991. And then there was the perfect storm, which was a book was written about, this weather system that killed some fishermen and created havoc. 3 months later. And I had been gearing up to do this job for a while, and then after that there was federal money to kind of help us out. We sat down at the table with the feds, with the federal people, and they said, well, it's going to take us a year to get the surveys done. And I said, no, it's not. I put them on the table because I had a local guy do the topos and the survey. Look around the table, and they said, what the fuck's this guy all about? Oh, well, now that we got the survey, it's going to take us a year to get permits. I put the permits on the table. I told you I've been working at this for a few years. And they looked at me and said, where does this fucking guy come from? And lo and behold, we made a good relationship and a good alliance to get the project done. And over the course of 5 years, I managed it in stages. And like I said, when Hurricane Sandy came, that protection was underwater. But we did pretty damn good. So it's the methods are working, and it's been a great experience for me because I like working there. And you take the key out of the ignition and get paid.
So when is the museum open? Like on the weekends only or special?
No, it's open 7 days a week now. You know, from the first week of May to maybe the last week of October, it's open 7 days a week.
What's the time?
10:30 to 4:30.